What if I told you there was a revolutionary new drug that could boost your memory, make you more creative, keep you slim, lower your risk of cancer and dementia, and even make you more attractive? And what if I told you this drug was completely free, had no painful side effects, and the only requirement was that you close your eyes and relax for 8 hours? This miracle drug exists. It's called sleep. And according to neuroscientist Matthew Walker, in his landmark and life-changing book Why We Sleep, it is the single most effective and overlooked thing you can do to reset your brain and body health each and every day. Yet, we are in the midst of a silent sleep loss epidemic that is one of the greatest public health challenges of our time. Today on Geeky Philosopher, we're going to, pull back the curtain on the mysterious third of our lives that we so often neglect. We'll explore the incredible hidden powers of sleep and uncover the urgent scientific reasons why it's actually your most important superpower. The first and most important thing to understand is that our modern culture is, honestly, profoundly anti-sleep. We wear our sleep deprivation as a badge of honor. We say things like, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," and we glorify the whole hustle culture of pulling all-nighters. We treat sleep not as a biological necessity but as a sign of weakness or laziness. Walker argues that this is a catastrophic mistake, based on a deep misunderstanding of what sleep actually is. Sleep is not your laptop sleeping. It's definitely not a period of inactivity. When you're asleep, your brain is wildly active. It's performing a series of complex and absolutely vital maintenance routines that are essential for your physical and mental health. Every major disease that is killing us in the developed world, from Alzheimer's to cancer to heart disease to obesity and diabetes, has strong and scientifically established links to a lack of sleep. Walker's urgent message is that we must stop thinking of sleep as an optional luxury and start treating it as the non-negotiable foundation of our well-being. Segment 2. The two engines of sleep. So what controls our desire to sleep? Walker explains that there are two main forces that work together. The first is a chemical called adenosine. Think of it as sleep pressure. From the moment you wake up in the morning, adenosine begins to build up in your brain. The longer you're awake, the more adenosine accumulates. And the more it builds up, the stronger your desire to sleep becomes. This is where caffeine comes in. Caffeine works by latching onto the adenosine receptors in your brain and blocking them. It's kind of like putting your fingers in your ears. Caffeine doesn't actually get rid of the adenosine. It just stops your brain from hearing its sleepy signal. And well, this is why you feel that crash when the caffeine wears off. All that built-up adenosine comes rushing back in. The second force is your circadian rhythm. This is your 24-hour internal clock, controlled by a tiny part of your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It basically dictates a natural daily rhythm of when you should be sleepy and when you should be alert. And this rhythm is most powerfully tuned by our exposure to daylight. These two forces work together. The adenosine builds up the pressure to sleep, and the circadian rhythm determines the perfect timing for that sleep to happen. When we ignore these powerful biological signals, we really do so at our peril. So, what happens after we fall asleep, you might wonder? Well, we enter a complex cycle, and the first major part of this cycle is NREM, or non-rapid eye movement sleep. This is what we typically refer to as deep sleep. This phase is where some of the most critical maintenance work takes place. One of the most stunning discoveries in recent years is the existence of the brain's glymphatic system. You can think of it as the brain's personal cleaning crew. During the day, your brain cells produce metabolic waste. But during deep sleep, the brain cells actually shrink, allowing the cerebrospinal fluid to rush in and wash away all this toxic debris. And what is one of the main toxins it clears away, you ask? A sticky protein called beta amyloid, which is the very same plaque found in the brains of patients with Alzheimer's disease. This is a profound discovery indeed. Just a single night of poor sleep can lead to a measurable increase in beta amyloid. So, it's now clear that deep sleep is actually one of our most powerful weapons in the fight against dementia. And, deep sleep is also absolutely essential for memory. It acts kind of like a file transfer system, moving new memories from the vulnerable short-term storage of your hippocampus to the safe, long-term storage of your cortex. Segment 4, the overnight therapist dreams sleep. The other major stage of sleep is REM sleep, which is when we actually have our most vivid dreams. For a long time, the purpose of dreams was a real mystery, but we now know that REM sleep performs two incredible functions. First, it's a form of overnight therapy. During REM sleep, our brain reprocesses the difficult and emotional experiences of the day, but it does this in a neurochemical state where our stress hormones are basically shut off. This allows the brain to strip the painful emotional charge away from a memory. In other words, it separates the memory from the emotion. Second, REM sleep is a cauldron of creativity. During dream sleep, your brain makes connections between vast and disparate sets of information, creating novel associations that would never happen during our logical waking hours. It's like a form of informational alchemy. This is why we so often wake up with a new solution to a problem we were stuck on the day before. The phrase, "sleep on it," is not just an old saying, it is excellent scientific advice. Segment 5. The high price of sleep deprivation. After explaining the incredible benefits of sleep, Walker spends the second half of the book delivering a stark, urgent, and evidence-based warning about the devastating consequences of not getting enough of it, which for the average adult is 7 to 9 hours a night. The data is terrifying and unambiguous. Routinely sleeping less than 6 or 7 hours a night demolishes your immune system. One study showed that people who get less than 6 hours of sleep are 4.5 times more likely to catch the common cold. Sleep deprivation is a major risk factor for numerous types of cancer. It is directly linked to heart disease as it affects blood pressure and arterial health. It disrupts your blood sugar levels so profoundly that just 1 week of poor sleep can move a healthy person to a pre-diabetic state. And it cripples your mental and emotional health, dramatically increasing your risk for depression, anxiety, and emotional volatility. In short, there is not a single aspect of your physical or mental well-being that is not harmed by a lack of sleep. Why We Sleep is one of the most important health books of our time. It is a powerful, passionate, and scientific plea to start a quiet revolution. It is a call to reclaim our fundamental biological right to a full night's sleep. The book is not just a warning, it is an invitation. It's an invitation to stop wearing our exhaustion as a badge of honor and to start seeing sleep for what it really is, the single most powerful tool we have to enhance our intelligence, our mood, our health, and our longevity. The advice is simple. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Create a dark, cool, and gadget-free bedroom. And yeah, avoid caffeine in the afternoon and alcohol in the evening. Reclaiming your sleep is not an act of laziness. In our modern 24/7 world, it is actually an act of profound intelligence, self-respect, and, honestly, rebellion. The shortest and most powerful path to a healthier, more creative, and more vibrant life is not a new diet or an expensive supplement. It is simply a free and deeply nourishing night of sleep. If you are someone who believes in building a better life through a deep scientific understanding of your own biology, then you are a student of this work. Consider subscribing to Geeky Philosopher, where we are dedicated to exploring the ideas that help us live wiser, healthier, and more conscious lives. Thank you for your time.